When scaling your B2B SaaS startup, there are certain types of prospects and customers that can kill your business. When scaling my own projects, I used to allow everyone to book a demo with me. Then a dangerous situation occurred because I kept getting feedback from all different prospects. Then I could not, well, back then I did not have any filtering mechanisms in place, and I used to treat different feedback I would receive from prospects equally, which is a crucial mistake. And then I would be thinking that, oh, if I hear two people say the same thing, it means it must be the fact that I must go and fix it. However, this couldn't be further from truth. In reality, you need to be implementing filtering mechanisms and only speaking to those prospects who your startup has been designed for, or in other words, your ICP. Because in my situation, what happened is I kept getting all this different feedback, rushed to implement these new features, hoping that, oh, after they're built, everything is gonna change. Then I spent a couple months building and spending money on development. Then I came back to show the updates to these prospects, and guess what? Of course, no one has purchased. Then I was thinking, okay, just those prospects were wrong. Let me build out this one other thing, because this, I'm sure now I receive another portion of feedback. These new people are going to care about. And this loop continued for a few times. Each time it took 1 to 3 months. And then that's how I lost a huge amount of money by the end of the year and had to, unfortunately, put this one project to an end. And I really don't want the same situation happen with you, because there are different ways you can prevent it. And one of them is realizing that you can build a billion-dollar company while not selling to everyone. Accept that. And especially when you're getting to your first 1 to 3 million in annual revenue, with your B2B SaaS startup, you must really filter out who are the types of prospects that you listen to the feedback from, and especially heavily consider implementing different features based on their feedback. Because let's say your product is ideal for businesses which are doing between 10 and 20 million dollars a year, and then you get couple prospects, and in this situation, for simplicity, I'll just talk in different revenue brackets. However, they can be different in terms of other parameters, not just revenue size. But let's say you get couple calls with people who are now making 7 to 8 million in revenue. Couple of them give you the same feedback that, oh, if only you had this one set of features, we would of course buy. And then you're like, okay, they're not going to pay as much, but they're going to pay me similar amount, and I only need to spend this, like, not as much time building this missing features for them. Then what happens next is you go and throw a bunch of money into building those features, and then when you come back, oftentimes they find another objection why not to buy your product. And even if they do, once they convert, it just so frequently happens that they then would start coming up with all different reasons why something is not there, and then eventually churn. Because especially when it's the route to the first 1 mil ARR, it really is one avatar that you need to serve for you to get there, not more. And the further you get away from serving one avatar, the higher gonna be the chances of you going bankrupt, unfortunately, because the more people you are trying to build for, the worse is the result, and the harder it is for you to keep and retain all of them. So that's why I prefer, when working with my clients, implementing different high-intent scaling mechanisms, and at the same time implementing filtering mechanisms for my clients not to be getting on calls with random people who just express interest. And everything starts from the moment that you learn the skill set of how you can get 20 to 40 or more interested leads every single week who are interested in your solution, because then you then have leverage to filter out the ones which don't have the budget and who are not looking to implement the solution in the upcoming future, so that then this market feedback that you get on calls actually comes down to be coming from those people who have a budget, are definitely interested in implementing solution like yours, and they're actively looking to implement it, because these are the prospects that you need to be building for, and especially once they convert, these are the ones worth listening to. It's such a dangerous trap to treat feedback from non-buying prospects equally, and also to treat feedback from people who are already paying you money equally. All the time you need to assign not just LTV comparison between them. Okay, this one can get us extra 10K, this one can get us extra 30K, let us build more features for this persona. But another thing you need to be considering when mapping out which actual ICP you need to be building for would be how quickly you can close them, and then the satisfaction rate, meaning like how oftentimes this type of buyers refer you new people. And I think the one which is often overlooked is the speed of the sales cycle. Because imagine you can convert one type of organization into a 50K check within, let's call it 6 months, or there is another one which you can convert into a 10 to 20K, let's call it 10K check within 3 weeks. On paper, it might seem that, well, there is 5 times more money there, let us go there, but you need to actually do the unit economics comparison, whether if you budget for all the hours and all the actual effort it takes you convert this larger size companies, how does it compare with ones which would pay you initially 3 times less money, but then potentially stay longer, plus it's just the sales cycle would be so much quicker, then they would make more sense for your business. And there are also a bunch of other things which you need to be considering when looking which specific ICP to build for. And this is something I help out my clients when they start working with me to get their B2B SaaS startups to the first 1 to 3 mil ARR. So if you're interested, just find the link nearby and we can chat. And on that, keep in mind that there are just so many businesses and prospects that you should not be selling to, because if initially you did not intend that your solution is to them, this can drag you into a very different path. And at the same time, you need to also be open for new perspectives, that if all the boxes get checked and this new customer group is actually converting quicker into larger checks and giving you even better feedback, staying longer, then it makes sense for you to pivot towards them. With that, I appreciate you watching this video, and chat soon.